Hello, everybody. Sorry you're listening to my AC unit. Think I'm going to run in the house and go shut it off real quick. So you don't have to listen to that buzzing and all that BS. Okay, I'm back. Got that AC unit turned off. Uh, Once again, my laptop will not connect to the internet. Sorry you couldn't hear me. Catfish Fever Outdoors. What's up, Lynn? Yeah, I ran into the house, go turn the AC off so you didn't have to listen to all that crap. Snake River. What's up, Sean? What up, brother? Well, we got four people in here. Oh, P&W Lip Rippers. What's up, Jess? How you doing? Can you guys hear me now? Somebody give me a thumbs up. Let me know you can hear me now. No thumbs up. Oh, yep. We got a yep from Lynn saying, yep, I guess we can hear you. All right. Sean says we can hear you. Cool. All right. So we got all this stuff. I got all these things over here. I got all these pods, these planters over here. I planted like a month ago. I planted 35 freaking seeds between peppers and tomatoes. Between these two having, if they'll separate, so 10 pods apiece, and then all these extras. I planted all kinds of pepper and tomato seeds. And I'm going to say that was my own fault because I did everything totally wrong. So I'm going to try again. Um, I'm going to try with seeds I previously had. Um, those seeds would be from personal savings from my best friend's habanero plants. Uh, Dan at 205, what is it? 205 Wild Action. He sent me a box of peppers, and I ended up saving some of the habanero seeds. And so I've got habaneros going from two different parts of the country. And then I've got seeds that came from Ernie and Chrissy at downtown Ernie Brown or downtown, yeah, uptown Chrissy Brown, downtown Ernie Brown. Um, and then Johnny Small Pepper sent me a big variety of different pepper seeds, all the way from sweet and mild all the way up to super hot. So I'm going to try to get a late start this year. I know it's already almost summer, but I'm going to try to get some stuff started. Um, these pods in front of me right here, these 72 pods, they were already filled last year. I was going to try to plant. I totally did not make that happen whatsoever. All the starting soil, that's seed starting mix, that's Jiffy. That's all in all those pods. I got it all in there, and I never planted anything, so everything sat there dry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dump it all into a bucket. I'm going to mix it into water, and then I'm going to fill those pods back up, and I'm going to plant seeds. I've got a lid that goes on that whole thing. So I'm going to leave it out in the sun in hopes that the sunlight, the warmth, and the moisture are going to get these seeds started. For the record, I'm not very familiar anymore with StreamYard on the phone. I'm finding out that it really sucks and it's really hard to try to keep up with chat. It's covering everything. Snake River is the king of spice. Well, Snake River, Sean, if I get these peppers going, I will be sending you some of these peppers so you can be the king of spice. We need to bring back late night live. Yes, we do, Lynn. Only problem is, man, I got a problem with waking up early in the mornings. So our late night lives are going to have to be on like weekend only kind of thing. We got 5 awesome people in here right now. So far, we got Lynn at Catfish. God damn it. What? Yeah. Yep. Yeah, Sean, I know you'll take them. I'll send them to you. As long as these plants grow and produce, I will send them out to you, buddy. I mean, either it sucks, it's not like it used to be. Yep, I hear you, man. I mean, we all got jobs. We all got to work and do what we got to do. You should ask Earl. Yeah, but Jessica, all Earl does is laptop StreamYard, so it makes it a lot easier. I'm on my phone, and it really makes it hard because StreamYard really screwed everything up, made everything so hard. I'm having to sit here and scroll one line at a time just to see who said what. And it is a real pain in the ass. Yeah. Yes, that is definitely true. Yeah. Earl sits on a laptop or a PC and he's got everything going. Let's see. You'd send some of your hooks in exchange, but y'all don't fish. Y'all don't fish. Hey, I'm trying to get back to fishing, you asshole. All right. Not like you ever show us you fish anymore, you little asshole. Snake River, I'm gonna try to make my ass. I'm gonna try to make my way and get my ass up there to Idaho. Come up there and see if I'll be the first person in the YouTube world that you started out with. Come up there and come see you and come fish with you. And since I'm a single guy, kind of good looking, maybe. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, maybe you and your wife can have somebody set up for me for the week or so. Just saying. You wonder if Prism is better for streaming. Lynn, a guy in a live stream I was in earlier, was talking about Prism, and he likes it. That's what he uses. He says you can't do panels, which I mean that's all right a lot of times. So you were in Chalice for a while, Snake River. Well, you should have hit a guy up, Lynn, just like you should have hit me up when you were in Oklahoma for the longest time, and you never did, and you had my phone number. Snake River, I don't fear no snake, buddy. I'll come catch them. Yeah, right now we're at 83 degrees. I don't know about Chalice or whatever it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead. I've got a couple buckets here. I'm going to go ahead and dump all these little pods back into the bucket now that they're dry. Oh, since they've been dry for the last year. Yeah, you work too much. Yeah, I know that feeling, buddy. I work too much and I have jack shit for money. I take care of my son, I pay my bills, and I have no extra money. Right now, I just ended up at 20 hours overtime on this paycheck that is going to be deposited Friday. And then I'm going to have 8 hours on the next check, which rent comes out of. and or maybe actually I gotta look at all that. I may have three checks coming out here pretty soon in June. I think I got 3 checks coming out in June. I gotta look. Um, but either way, um, yeah. So I'll have 8 hours on the next check, and then my annual bonus will be coming out on sometime in June. So I should be in the black for a little while. I really would love to make it out to Oregon for Earl's meetup to everybody. Funny, you go into Earl's live streams and kind of seems like a lot of people in there, they don't really want to chat with you if you're not from that area and you're not from part of, if you're not part of that whole fishing world. Uh, and I'm not gonna name names, but it's pretty obvious. I can't remember how many months I was in Earl's Earl's live streams, and one person finally responded to me after I had mentioned or talked, made comments to that person, and yet they finally responded to one comment this past week. A lot of people in Earl's lives just they're kind of up Earl's ass. I'm just gonna say I'm sorry, Earl, but yeah, a lot of people just they don't talk to other people unless you're part of that part of the country and that whole fishing scene. So, there's been times I've left Earl's lives because I don't want to be part of that. I really don't care. I come to a live to hang out and BS with everybody. And if you can't enjoy being part of everybody, then hell with you. I don't care. I'm out. Mike Urban, what's up, buddy? Well, I appreciate you, sir. Thank you very much. Yep. Yeah, Lynn's noticed what's going on in Earl's lives. It's very proprietary. If you're not part of that group, part of that whole part of the country, that part of the fishing, part of the crabbing, part of the crabbing, part of the fishing. A lot of the people in that live that come in there, they really don't give a shit whether they talk to you or not. And I'm sorry, Earl. Like I said, if you catch this, you see it, well, sorry, that's how me and other people feel. And I've already pointed that out to you once in our text messages. So, let's see. I don't ever catch lives anymore. Can't even remember last time I was in a live in a YouTube panel and haven't been live myself in over a year. Yeah, Snake, man, miss you being live, dude. You're an awesome guy. Like I said, eventually I'm going to make my way up to Idaho. Come up and see you. Even if it's not a fishing trip, I'm going to come up there, come hang out, maybe hit a concert or something with you. Leanne, what's up, Leanne? How you doing? All right, so right now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and get all these pods. I'm gonna go ahead and get this whole thing dumped into the bucket. Get all this seed starting mix dumped into the bucket, and go from there. I'll get it mixed up, get it wet, and I think that was my big problem with all the other 35 pods that I started, 35 seeds, and I didn't wet the soil, the seed starting mix first. So I really screwed up there. But we're gonna get that. We're gonna do it. Cervix, cervix, service sucks butt. Let's see. Oh, damn it. You're doing good here. I'm pretty good. Service sucks butt on the Snake. Service sucks on Snake River. Yep. Sorry to hear that, Sean. So Like I said, I'm gonna get all this dumped into the bucket. Since it's already dry. And a lot of dust coming out. And I'm gonna lose some, but whatever. There's 36. And another 36. And then everything goes down in here. I'll go ahead and add some extra. Don't know how much extra I added, but we'll add some water. So I do have some rubber gloves I'm going to put on. And we're going to go from there. Put these gloves on just so I don't have to worry about my hands. Even though it's just some dirt, I don't need rubber gloves. We're sitting at 6 people in the chat, 7 people. That's awesome. You know, I tried to schedule this thing ahead of time, try to get some people in here. You know, things happen when you haven't been live in a long time. A lot of people, they leave, they don't really worry about you. So, like I said, I got the water mixed in here. Definitely need more water. So, for anybody that's paid attention, I haven't made a post yet, but my dad did get out of the hospital Saturday afternoon. He's doing well. They found that he does not have a bone infection, but yet they cannot state what the infection is. So he said he had like 8 IV bags of antibiotics while he was in the hospital. And the swelling in his foot went down tremendously. So that's a good thing. Right now, he is, like I said, he's home and he has antibiotics that he is taking while he's at home. Things are going pretty well. So we're just looking forward to everything getting better. Right now, everything's wet. I'm just going to stuff it. I'm going to cram it in all these pods. Get all these little pods filled up. And Apparently I need to kind of pack them in a little bit. Maybe I need more of the starting mix. I'm trying to not pack it real tight. We'll see. I think we probably got enough to get these filled. And I probably don't have 72 seeds to fill in these pods, but like I said, right now I'm just trying to get these pods going. Soil's pretty wet. I think I kind of got it a little overly wet, but it'll dry out. So for everybody that is in chat watching, I appreciate you being here. Sorry I'm not there to be able to chat right now. Just trying to get all these pods filled. So this toolbox that everything's sitting on right now, I don't know if you guys remember the pictures that I posted of the work I did on a friend's trailer a while back, a year or so ago, but he gave me some money and he gave me this toolbox for getting the job done well and getting it done in a certain period of time. So he gave me this toolbox. I think it's going to be a good box to just throw in the back of the truck and use, put stuff in. Keep stuff in when I go hunting or fishing. Not too worried about whether it locks, but there is a lot of space in this box. So it's, it's pretty cool that I got it for, kind of free, I guess. I say free. Honestly, I did a lot more work than I financially quoted him and I financially charged him. He got a lot more work done than what he was charged. We'll just say that. And that really sucks, but when you're not somebody who does welding, fabricating, making things for a living, it's kind of hard to come up with prices and say, yeah, this is how much this is going to cost. Kind of hard to do that. So I definitely underpriced him. I definitely sat there and thought, well, this stuff is only going to cost this much. When in reality, the amount of time it took to do everything took a lot longer. So I actually lost money on the deal, on multiple deals that I did for this very same guy working on the very same trailer. So yeah, it kind of sucked, but you start to learn as you go. Quit telling yourself that you can do this job in a certain amount of time. You can do it. It's going to be easy when you know it's going to be easy, but at the same time, it's not as easy as it doesn't turn out to be as easy as you really thought it was going to be. So, crap. Yep. Think I need to mix up a little bit more Probably don't need to pack it in very tight, but kind of need to make sure all the space is filled. And I'm not trying to just push it in there super tight. No, I'm just trying to kind of get it in there. And one thing I really wish I had was some plastic garden tags for marking everything. I haven't had the extra money to get on Amazon and order some garden tags, which you can get like 200 of them for like $5-6 on Amazon, but I haven't had that extra money to do that. A lot of water coming out of there too. Probably should have mixed a little bit more soil to the water. But yeah, so this coming Friday, I get paid, order some tags. That way I don't have to worry about it, because right now I'm using cardboard that I have around the house, poster board, whatever. Right now it's going to be poster board. By the way, Dom just graduated, or just he didn't graduate. He just got out of the 3rd grade. He will be in 4th grade next year, so that's awesome. He is 9. He will be 10 later this year. He's my little awesome guy. We're looking at maybe getting him into a race car. And I'm sorry, like I said, I don't know how many of y'all are in chat right now. But I'm trying to get this all squared away. And I know a number of these pods are not going to get used currently. But whatever does will get pulled out. Whatever doesn't will stay. I'll pop it back out, and I'll refill it, and I'll reseed it. So, yep, looks like I need more. Because that's me. I'm trying to get everything topped off. Level, packed in. And squared up. Some of this ended up on the ground. Oh, wow. Way too much water for what I put in there. So the thing is, if there's too much, I'll leave in the bucket. I'll let it dry out, and then I will use it later. Because it's not like all the nutrients have been used yet. All right, so that looks like a pretty good mixture. And what happened last time, so all those planters that I tried to plant everything in before, I filled about 3/4 of the way full of just regular potting soil. And then I topped off with this seed starting mix. Well, the problem was I didn't mix the seed starting mix. I didn't wet it. So I put it in there dry, and then I added water after planting my seeds. So what happened was, when I gave it water, I'm pretty sure all the seeds came up to the top, and then I left it all uncovered. So when the wind blew everything away, that means the seeds blew away too. So that would explain why out of 35 freaking plants, I had absolutely 0 starts. 35 plants and 0 starts. That sucks. And like I said, yeah, this is probably all too wet, but it will dry. All the seeds are dry, so you know, it ain't gonna hurt nothing. It'll help them kind of moisten up, loosen up, try to work on germination and everything. So my concrete tile, and of course this is like diamond plate friggin' plastic crap, so it's not gonna scrape along it. Oh my god, my lower back. Now that's all in there. I'm kind of saying hell with it. Using the trowel. Kind of trying to pack and flatten everything out. I know, I should be set up somewhere else, but I don't have to do all this crap. But everything's good and wet. I packed in. They're probably wetter than it needs to be or should be. But, sorry. All right. I think we're probably good here. All the excess, like I said, I'll hang on to. As far as pepper and tomato seeds, from what I've found, depends on the source you're checking. I found anywhere from 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch depth on your seed burying. So I think probably everything being topped off right here probably be good, regardless of the depth I'm gonna go. I think I'm pretty well good. Blew all this off earlier, so no bad mixtures. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and get all this started. Get the seeds in. And then I will go from there. So, got the gloves rinsed off. I'll go ahead and go get the seeds. A lot of the seeds I have, mostly the ones that came from Johnny Small Pepper, he sent a number of them with 2 seeds and several of them with 3 seeds. I was going to just try to be sparing and just plant one a piece, but you know what? I'm going to go ahead and try to see what I can get going. And if I can get them growing, then once they grow, I can take seeds from the pods that do grow. And we can go from there. So yeah, I'll get all my seeds rounded up here real quick. Actually, before that, I need to take a little break because I've been bent over for a little while doing all that. Johnny Small Pepper, what's going on, buddy? Thank you for coming in, sir. New comments. Don R, what's going on, buddy? How are you, old timer? Thanks for coming in. Leanne's still here. Oh, Ashley Brady was in here. Bedtime for me now. Gotta go. Take care. Well, Ashley, thanks for coming in. Let's see. Johnny said I take tape and go down the tray lines and write the names on the tape. Okay. Sounds like a good idea. And then he's a man. If he can't plant it, no one can. Pat. Thanks, Ashley. Sorry, Johnny. I was working on trying to get the soil all taken care of. Leanne, thank you. Yep, Dad is continuing to get better. And I appreciate everybody's well wishes for him while he was in the hospital. It means a lot to me that I have people that actually care and are doing what they can to, be part of my channel and hang out. So, like I said, I have a number. Johnny sent 12 different varieties. I got 13 bags, but 2 bags were of the same variety. So I got a total of, I think, 5 different seeds of that pepper. So I'll go ahead and plant 2 and I'll hang on to the 3. And all the others, I think I'm going to go ahead and plant the 2 and we'll see what we got. Like I said, I also got seeds from, it used to be Our Mountain Home. I think it was Our Mountain Home. And it might still be. Also, Wiley's channel is Working with Wiley. And then also I got some from Dan at 205 Wild Action. And then some from my best friend's habanero plant. So I'm trying to plant. Got that voice cracking. I'm trying to plant as much as I can and see what I can turn out. And when Johnny starts doing his live streams, hopefully I can start sending some peppers to Johnny or to everybody else. Oh, Jessica, I freaking love zucchini and cucumbers. Dom freaking loves cucumbers too, and I will be planting those here ASAP too. My whole thing was I had a whole big plan over here to the south. I had a whole big area that I was going to plant my garden. And this is all soil that has never been planted. And I worry about it. So I didn't have the money to rent the tiller. And also, from what I found for the size of garden I was going to plant, they recommended 3 to 4 or more yards of compost to mix in. Well, at $30 a yard, it kind of gets a little expensive. Especially, I mean, when yeah, it's not expensive to most people, but right now, $120 if I had to get 4 yards, which means I would have to make two or three 25-minute trips each way just to go get a yard to yard and a half of compost to be able to mix in there with the tiller. So everything has to be done like in one weekend. And right now it's like I'm trying to do everything in pots and whatever I can. Right now I just I got to worry about what I can do when these things pop up, and I'll go from there. But yeah, I'm not a good gardener. I mean, I this is my first time trying to really do something kind of big, and hopefully next year I'll be able to afford to get the ground tilled up, get it amended, get good compost and everything else in there, have good soil, and have a really good garden. Because I was looking at going big, like a 30 foot by 40 foot. At least, I mean, that's big for me as a single person. Um, with the variety of different vegetables I was going to plant, that was going to be a shit ton of vegetables for one person and one 9-year-old little boy. So I was either going to be doing farmers market or giving away or, selling, selling farmers market or selling online or something. So it was going to be an undertaking, but I was willing to do it if I was able to get it planted. This year it didn't happen. So right now I'm getting a very late start, at least trying to get these peppers and tomatoes planted. Um, and then I know Dom loves cucumbers, so I'm going to try to get some of them planted. I know I'm really late in the season, but I'm going to try it. You know, you, you don't you don't know what's going to happen until you try. Use canvas bags, 5 gallon. Yeah, it everything happened this year. It just I had all these big hopes and dreams of planting this big garden. I got this good kind of downhill slope that's going to help with drainage, um, and good wide open area with the sun to be able to hit first thing in the morning all the way in through the evening. And it was just, you know, I didn't have the money for the tiller. I didn't have the money for the compost. I didn't have the money for the fencing to go around it because I do have gophers and moles and possums and foxes and coyotes and deer and everything else. So my whole thing was I wanted to go, and as far as everything I've read, they recommend to keep like gophers and moles out. You need to go about 36 inches deep into the soil with a fencing that is small enough to be able to stop the moles and gophers and everything. Well, I didn't have the money for that. Would have needed to rent a trencher to be able to do a trench around. Didn't have the money for a trencher. Didn't have the money for the fencing. Then I didn't have the money for the fencing to go 6 feet in the air because deer can jump a 6 foot fence. Now it's not that common if you're doing a garden, but they can jump a 6 foot fence. So yeah, I was planning on doing like a 6 foot fence, and just money wasn't there this year. When you're taking care of everything like I'm taking care of by yourself with single parent and having to pay all the bills and everything else, it just it's not easy. And you got a lot of hopes and dreams, and a lot of times those hopes and dreams fail from one year to another. And I'm really, really hoping that, I mean, next year, I know it may cost me $500 to $1,000 to get a fence buried around because I do have big problems with gophers and moles in this property. So to be able to rent a trencher to bury a fence and get the fencing that will go down that far, and then do another 6 foot on top of that with posts and everything else. I'm probably looking at between everything. I'm probably looking at probably $1,000 just to plant a garden, and I don't know. We'll see. There's a lot of wildlife here willing to take care of my garden for me and get rid of it, and I hate that. Otter, oh, yep, otter cat. The only way for late vegetables is to plant late. Yep, only way for late vegetables is to plant late. Yep, so I'm gonna go ahead and start getting these seeds in the soil. Um, right now I got 12 varieties from Johnny, and I've got a number of tomatoes and peppers from Jen and Wiley, and then a couple habanero from Dan and my best friend. So I'm gonna plant what I got and see what I can do. I do have the clear plastic cover that goes over this, and all the soil is good and wet, so I'm gonna throw it on there tonight. Hopefully tomorrow, the next couple days, everything's good, hold some moisture in there, and then I'll check and I'll water as I need to. See, Don says when you rinse your rice, save the water and let it remain a couple days. Best fertilizer you can get. Yeah, Don, I read that. Also, I've got a guy that I watch, and I think he's kind of in the New York City area. I mean, his national descent is like Middle Eastern, but his channel is Green Capital T Garden. Uh, he does a he does a lot of gardening. He puts out shorts all the time and videos. And one of the videos he put out was talking about if you boil eggs, like if you do hard boiled eggs, save your water, let it get to room temperature, and then you can give your vegetable plants a shot of that. And that's like a quick dose of like calcium and whatever else comes out of the eggshells when you boil them. And it makes sense. So, you know, I love hard boiled eggs. And if I can start getting some of this stuff growing, then, I'll start boiling some eggs and saving the water, give my plants a little shot and see how it goes from there. You grow 2 acres every year for the farmer's market. It's a lot of work, but it pays nice. Yeah, Otter, I really would like to kind of start out and see what I can do. And, if I can start out and I end up with some peppers taken off and maybe end up with a good amount because these super hots I'm not going to eat. I'll give to my brother. Maybe I'll sell to some coworkers and maybe sell online. I'll send to Johnny and Dan and a few others on who do this hot pepper eating and go from there. But maybe I'll be able to branch off into just really big a good garden that keeps me busy. So let me plug this overhead light in real quick. So I'm gonna ditch the hat. I need a haircut. My hair is nice and thick, and I need a haircut, and I'm sweating, so screw the hat. So right now, and I'm not one that sits there and worries about, oh, my seeds have been sitting around too long. Well. I'm just going to plant them. If they grow, and that's awesome. I've had these seeds for like 3 years, 3 years, something like that, 2.5 years. These came from Wiley and Jen. I've got Brad's Atomic Grape. If you know nothing about that, it is a grape tomato plant that grows tomatoes in all different colors: purple, yellow, orange, red, green, a big variety of colors. I've got an Engelhart yellow cherry tomato. We're going to plant some of them. I've got an Aurora pepper. It is a mild pepper. They grow, it's a pretty small plant. You can grow them in a pot on your porch or wherever. And I did happen to see them growing at Jen and Wiley's when I went to their place a couple years ago. They grow to be probably about an inch long, something like that. And they're kind of like a mild, maybe medium, uh, yeah, mild pepper. But they're purple, from what I do remember. I got these accordion. They're orange accordion tomatoes. So they grow to look like that, apparently. So, it'd be neat to try them, see what they do. She gave them to me. I'm going to plant them and I'm going to see. So these are Black Beauty. These are Black Beauty tomatoes. The meat of the tomato does grow to be like purple black. They grow to be pretty good size. If you can see that that's in the hand of a probably grown man. So probably like a slicer tomato. So I'm going to see how that does. And then we've got a black cherry tomato. And I think they do also grow to be like a purple meat. And then I've got a pineapple tomato. Nope. Pineapple tomato, and they look like they grow to be orange. Pretty good size. So I'm going to start out with these and go from there. And then I'll plant the seeds from Johnny and Ernie and Chrissy. I'm gonna check chat real quick and see what's going on. Still got Jessica and Otter. Okay, so not much new has popped up. So I'm gonna go ahead. I got a little screwdriver I'm just gonna use just to, kind of open up a hole for all this stuff. I gotta get it first. So everything I've read says tomatoes and peppers need to be planted at like anywhere from 1/8 to 1/4 to maybe a 1/2 inch depth. So I'm just gonna kind of guesstimate and go from there. And I need my trusty scissors and poster board and pen until I'm able to get some garden tags to get this stuff going. Let's see. And I don't have anything smooth to write on, so I'll write on this chair back here that you guys can't see. So Let's see, I'm gonna go ahead and slice, put some slices into them. And just cut the width. Just kind of make some half-ass tags right now. That way I can stuff them in there, and then when I do actually get some real garden tags, I can replace them. So I got Brad's Atomic Grape right now. I'm gonna stick in there. I don't know how many seeds I actually have. I think I have a number of them. Right now, I think I'm just gonna plant 2. I'll go ahead and plant 3. In hopes of getting maybe 2 started. So, wow, that thing's heavy now. That got a lot of water in there. 1, 2, 3. So I'll drop a seed down in each hole. Cover them up. And we got Brad's Atomic Grape planted. And I got a bunch of tags on the ground. So Brad's Atomic Grape right there. What do we got next? We got, okay, let's see if maybe we can get some orange accordion tomatoes going. Let me open up the hole. So I'll go ahead and start 3 of them. Hopefully. Oh, there we go. I got a number more than 3. And I know a lot of stuff, when you read it online, it says start more than 1 seed per pod. But I've got a lot of pods here. So I'm going to try 1 seed per pod. And we'll find out if they're going to come up. So we got them. Ah, son of a bitch. I just put them in the wrong envelope. Oops. Oh, well, that's just 3 seeds, right? All right, so accordion pineapple. Orange accordion. Three orange accordions. So we got them in. So we got the Aurora mild pepper. And once again, make our holes. I'm going to go ahead and make holes for the whole row. And da 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 da. Making holes. They're probably about 3/8 of an inch deep. Or so. Yeah, these auroras, they grow kind of like a pot-sized plant from what I remember, Jen having grown. Oh shit. That did not go down the hole. So while I've got plenty of seeds, I'll just go ahead and do 3 of each. All right, so now I've got Engelhart yellow cherry. Oop. So like I said, these are older seeds, but you know, there's nothing that says they won't sprout and grow. So that's why I'm going with multiple seeds of each. Oops. I didn't label the last ones. So these last 3 are Engelhart. Engelhart yellow cherry on these 3. Yeah, I'll get on Amazon Friday after I get paid and I'll order some plastic tags. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I didn't label my Aurora. Aurora peppers. Look at them labeled. So sorry, you guys, for being there in chat and me not checking chat. Um, I will be back with you shortly. Right now, I'm just trying to get some of this stuff planted, get the seeds in there. And then I will come catch back up with you. I'm gonna get these last few varieties planted, and then I will get back with you guys, and then we'll get the rest of them done. But yeah, I screwed up last time. I didn't wet the starting soil. I didn't cover them, and the wind, I'm pretty sure the wind blew everything, all my seeds away, which really sucked because that was a month ago. I could have had a lot of growth going by then. I've still got a lot of these cherry tomatoes going. We're in the packet. So trying to get the bigger of the seeds in there. And see if maybe bigger seeds make a difference. Some of the stuff that I read does say that if you go with bigger seeds, that can make a difference. So those were black cherry tomatoes. So those, I got 3 black cherries. So these are black beauties. We're gonna see if we can get them to go. Because I love tomatoes and I'm really starting to learn to love peppers of all varieties. Uh-oh. I think I only had 3 black beauties left. So hopefully these 3 seeds maybe produce. I got all 3 of them down in there. I think the envelope is empty of the black beauties. Now these seeds that Jen and Wiley gave me are actually, Jen gave them to me. But Jen and Wiley are a couple. They are both freaking awesome people. So you need to check them out. They've got Our Mountain Homestead and Working with Wiley. And they are a rather religious family. They down to earth. Wiley has built some things. He does things just, they're just awesome people. Really down to earth, awesome people. So check them out if you get a chance. But yeah, these are the black beauties, and these seeds that they gave me, they come from Baker Creek heirloom. Yeah, they're Baker Creek heirloom seeds. They're out of Mansfield, Missouri, and I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, all you got to do is their website is rareseeds.com and check them out. And maybe you can get some good seeds for some good vegetables. Let me make a tag real quick for those so I don't forget. So those 3 are the Black Beauty. I'm sure all these tags are going to fold over when I put the lid on them. So then I've got these pineapple tomatoes. I'm going to make my holes for them. And some of the stuff I've read, they say, if you plant too deep, the peppers and tomatoes, they will not come up very strong. Um, Now that could be true, that could be wrong. I don't know. But if they're talking about doing a 1/4 inch and then they're saying doing twice as wide as the seed itself, well, these seeds are very tiny. So if you do twice as wide as these seeds that you get, your hole is not very deep that you're burying them into. So you've got a big chance of them disappearing. But that is if you're an idiot like I was and you plant them out in the open with no cover. So if you cover them, that may be a totally different story. Hopefully, I have a hell of a lot better results this time than I had on the previous 35 freaking seeds that I wasted. And these were the pineapple tomato. So yeah, I'll get on Amazon Friday. I'll order me some good plastic tags, and I don't I know I got a Sharpie around here somewhere, but I can't figure out where. I don't know where the hell it's at. So may have to just kind of make one come home from work with me and go from there. All right, so we've got 7 different varieties right now, mostly all just tomatoes. 6 varieties of tomatoes, 1 variety of peppers. So we're about to move on to the peppers. So I'm going to get the peppers and go from there. Leanne is keeping her fingers crossed. Yes, they are awesome people. Yes, Leanne knows Jen and Wiley. They are very awesome people. You love tomatoes, basil, and mozzarella. Awesome. Okay. Oh, Don's leaving us. Good night, Don. Have a good night. Thanks for coming in, buddy. Don just uses numbers that correspond to a notebook. Well, you know, 1/4 inch is the deal, Ottercat says. Doo-doo-doo. Yep. So I am. There we go on that. That's our tomatoes and one variety of peppers. So now I'm going to move on to what I got from Ernie and Chrissy. So I've got an old time hot banana. I've got Dragon's Breath, which is a hot pepper. Could possibly be a super hot. I'm not quite sure. And then this envelope says 100-year passed down tomatoes between Tommy Toe and Grape. So those could be really awesome tomatoes. I'm going to plant 3 of each of those in hopes that we get something going. And like I said, I'm going to wait and find out what sprouts up before I really try to kind of get something going as far as the ground goes. I have a number of pots. I've been saving my eggshells, my vegetable cutoffs, all kinds of stuff, trying, that will be good to put in the soil to make a fresh compost. I've got plenty of dead branches around here that when I do this, finally decide to do maybe I decide to go ahead and do like above ground, like raised garden. I will have plenty of branches and stuff that I can toss in there to help start rotting and promote good soil growth with worms, different earthworms, different insects that thrive and actually help soil get better, be good soil. So I'm gonna really try. It's gonna take some time, and I'm really hoping that I can really produce a good garden come this next year. We'll see if these tomatoes and peppers, if they take. I've watched a number of videos from numerous channels on overwintering your tomato and pepper plants, where basically you cut them down to the bare minimum stock, and you strip them out of the soil that they were growing in outside, and you put them in completely fresh soil inside, and you keep them dormant. And then when springtime comes, you introduce them to the light, or more light than you already were, and they're ready to go. And so you have a lot less time on the regrowth, because they're going to start growing back on the stock that was there. What they're going to start growing back on the stock that was there. And so that can save you a lot of time on your growth, because you're going to start getting, you've already got your solid stock, and they're just going to start growing from that. So we've got 3 seeds here. Nope. If I can get them one at a time, because apparently 2 of them want to stick together. All right, screw it. 2 of them are going in one hole. I know. In the human world, 2 in one hole is not the preferred method. All right, there we go. Another a 3rd seed to go in a 3rd hole. And yes, I am going to not be naughty tonight, talking about 1, 2, or 3 holes. I will be good. So then we've got them. Now we've got our dragon's breath, which would really be good. Hopefully they grow. Ernie sent me a good amount of seeds of everything, and there are a few flowers, or a couple, 2 or 3 different flower plants he sent me to grow as well. Moon plant, which I really need to get growing, because my mom grew moon plants and they are beautiful. They've got giant white flowers that bloom at night. They grow up into these big bushy plants. And from what I read also is they grow up like if you have a trellis, they grow up a trellis. One's mom always had, they just kind of bushed out, but she never had a trellis. So I guess if you have a trellis, they will grow up that and they will spread out. So I need to get them going. And get them blooming. I might be too late, but once again, that's maybe one day this week, maybe this weekend I'll have Dom. We're supposed to have rain starting tomorrow all the way through the weekend, which will limit our racetrack time for the weekend. But maybe that'll help me and Dom get out and do some work together. Maybe we can start some plants, start some seeds. And even though it is most of everything that I'm going to be growing is stuff he will never eat, especially peppers, which I did find out that. So last weekend when I took Dom to Thunder Valley to the drag strip, it was, well, not last weekend, but the weekend before last. It was the King of the Street event. It was a car show and racing. Well, we were there all the way up until we were about to leave at 9 something. And my dad had said, hey, I'm going to make these kebabs. If you want to come by, just let me know when you're leaving and I'll throw them on the grill and have them. So Dom is not big on vegetables. He loves cucumbers, carrots, and a couple of broccoli, a few others. So we get over to my dad's. We had a really late dinner. It was, shoot, I think it was 10:30 at night when we finally got over there. And we ended up, my dad made kebabs with steak meat, jalapeno, or not jalapeno, steak meat, bell pepper, onion, and zucchini. And he used purple onion, but Dom ended up eating everything but he tried the onion, but he did not like it. He did, however, eat the bell pepper, which I was kind of surprised about. And he ate the zucchini, which, not too surprised, but yeah, he ate all of that and he did really good. He ended up eating 3 kebabs worth minus the onion. He is a growing boy. Anytime I take him to Taco Bell, he is eating 4 tacos, sometimes 5. If we make homemade tacos at Dad's house, he is eating 5 tacos, sometimes maybe 6. He's a taco monster. He freaking loves tacos. Let's see, those are the old time hot banana. So Dom loves a lot of stuff. He just hasn't figured out some of the stuff that he likes. I mean, it took me into my 30s and 40s to realize that there were a few things I actually like to eat. So I wouldn't eat a baked potato until I was in my late 20s. And me and my friends we had floated the river, and our thing was we float the river and then we left there and we went to Tin Killer with the boats and spent the rest of the week boats and jet skis. Spent the rest of the weekend out on the water at Tin Killer and had a freaking great time. Well, this was kind of a screwed up weekend, and the only thing we had a lot of rain and no grocery store close. So the only thing my friend Ton had was some chicken legs and plain old russet potatoes. So I decided I'm going to try a grilled baked potato. And ever since then, I freaking loved them. Now you'll call me weird, but I only eat baked potatoes with salt and pepper. No butter, no sour cream, no cheese. Cheese probably wouldn't be so bad. Salt and pepper. That salt and pepper is all I use on my baked potatoes. Um, and bacon would be awesome. Bacon bits. But you put anything like butter or sour cream that's going to make the meat of that potato mushy, I will not touch it. If it's just cut wide open, I eat it with the skin. I put salt and pepper only on it, and I'll eat the hell out of it with just a lot of salt and pepper and be good. So from there, I haven't ventured out into anything else. Asparagus took me into my early 30s, I think, late 20s, early 30s to find out I like asparagus, and I grill the hell out of it now. I will bake it, I'll grill it, I'll even eat it raw. When I'm getting it ready to grill, I'll throw it on the aluminum foil, I'll oil it, I'll throw my garlic powder and my Cajun seasoning or whatever I'm using. I'll roll it around, I'll get it seasoned, and then I just can't wait. So I'll pick up the smaller, thinner sticks of the asparagus, and I'll just eat them raw. Um, and I freaking love it. It's yummy. So Brussels sprouts. When I was with Dom's mom, we tried them a couple different times, and there's no way I just could not do it. I tried it, and there's just no way I could even just, I couldn't do it. Um, but there's my taste buds, everything has changed as I've gotten older. Some things I've learned to really like. If I can get these damn habanero peppers. There we go. Oh, all right. So these are habanero seeds from the habaneros that Dan at 205 Wild Action sent me. So I'm gonna go ahead and plant. I'm gonna go ahead and plant 3 of those. And yes, this whole course of planting, I am still wearing my rubber gloves. So I'm not. Oh wow, there's thunder. That's crazy. We're not supposed to have storms until tomorrow. Um, but that is my protection from these seeds because even the seeds have the bad stuff that's going to hurt you if you touch yourself in the eye or the pee or anywhere else that any kind of capsaicin, the kind of hot stuff is not supposed to go. So that is habanero. Those are habaneros from Dan. Wow, I may run out of room going on what Johnny sent me. We'll see. Let's see. What do I got? I got 3, 6, 3, 6. So I got 36 pods left. And if you count the seeds that Johnny gave me, I think I'm going to be pretty damn close to filling this whole thing up. That's going to be 72 friggin' pepper and tomato plants. That's going to be a lot. All right. So let me go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and get a couple more rows opened up. Go ahead and get holes opened up. And this is just a small flathead screwdriver I've got that I'm using. Kind of wiggling it around, making me a hole for that seed to fall down into. And I'm going to guarantee it's probably 9 o'clock, a little after 9 o'clock, since I can't really see outside. So I need to hurry my butt up because I actually called into work today. I called into work. I just wasn't feeling it. Needed a day off after working the whole weekend overtime. Being up at 3:30 in the morning to be at work at 4:30. Working at overtime on Friday and Thursday. I just needed a little bit of time. And I was able to get things cleaned up around the house, things taken care of. Um, the well guys finally came after I went and dropped my check off yesterday. I made it a point to let them know that, hey, I need my freaking water. I need this whole water pressure problem fixed. I'm tired of taking a shower and my water cutting out all the way to no pressure, no water flowing at all, 2 to 3 times during one shower. Hand washing dishes in the sink, I lose water. I have no water pressure. And the neighbors who are currently renting the big shop on the other side of the property, they live in a fifth wheel next to the shop, and the landlord decided to tap into my water so they would have water. So, which, I mean, nice thing is, even though we're on well, they still give me $40 a month to help towards the electric caused by their use of the water. So that's great. Um, but it's not just me that has been affected by the water problem. It's been them too. So I'm glad they finally showed up and they found that the little copper nipple that goes from a T up to the pressure switch from the well was basically 100% clogged. And I still have it right over here. I don't know how the hell water even made it up there for the switch to even work. But yeah, they came, they fixed it. So now hopefully I can run the dishwasher, I can run my washing machine, I can take a shower, I can hand wash dishes in the sink. The neighbors can take a shower and do their dishes, do whatever without any pressure problems whatsoever. I can't wait. And when I get done with this, I'm going to go in and take a shower myself and experience a long shower without one intermittent cutout. And I can't wait. That'll be great. Okay, so the last ones I planted were habanero peppers from my best friend and his wife. So these three right here. So the big variety that I've got, they came from Johnny. JSP, Johnny Small Peppers. Now, as everybody should know, if you read his about me on his channel, Johnny is not his real name. I do not know his real name yet. Maybe one of these days I will be cool enough to know his real name. But I am cool enough for this guy to be gracious enough to send me a variety of peppers. And I love this guy to death. I love Johnny's live streams. I love his mentality on life and friendship and everything else. Um, he's a great guy. I wish I had more people like him in my life. Now it kind of sucks when you send somebody a big old long full email, basically telling them your whole damn life, and they only respond with like two quick sentences. But you know, everybody's got their own life. Um, you know, but just one of those things. I don't know. I kind of feel like if I'm going to take the time, which a couple of these emails I have sent have taken me like a freaking hour to type out, to think out, to really get everything in order the way I want it and get everything thought out, typed up, and sent. And, you know, not saying it's anything bad about anybody, but, you put a lot of time and effort into something. Sometimes you just, if you don't get a response, much of a response at all, it's kind of heartbreaking. It kind of makes you feel like, well, okay, cool. I wasted their time in sending them this long ass email that they might have read all of, and you don't know what they're thinking on the rest of it. I mean, yes, I know everybody's got their own lives, they got their own issues they got to deal with, and everything else. What I try to do if somebody sends me a long text, long email, anything, a long comment on my videos, I try to be like, yep, I here's a short, quick response, and I'll get back with you on the rest of it later when I'm able to. But don't worry, I haven't forgotten about you. You know, it will all be. I will cover everything that I will respond to everything that you had to say. Because why else would we type all that we type, write all that we write, if we did not want a little bit of acknowledgement from those people. Like I said, I know everybody has their own lives. They're busy, they don't have the time, they're not able to respond. And it's nice to just get a response because a lot of times I have sent stuff and I've never gotten a response. So I appreciate any kind of response. I'm not being negative at all. I'm just kind of speaking a little bit. Um, it just, I don't know. I'm not one of those people that everybody wants to reach out and everybody wants to talk to all the time. My friends are my son and my dad. Those are the two people in my life I can guarantee to call friends. Otherwise, I don't know what a friend is. Now, on to the seeds that came from Johnny. These are the trick or treat pepper. I got 3 seeds of this, and I am only going to plant 2 because I would like to hang on to one for future endeavors, regardless of how things go. This trick or treat pepper, from what I read, was developed at the University of Arkansas. I'm stupid. It was developed at the University of New Mexico. It is a habanero variety with absolutely zero heat. So, for those of you who want to taste a habanero, but you don't want that extreme heat that a habanero is normally going to give you, this trick or treat pepper will provide you with that. It is supposed to be, like I said, 100% heat free. So, yeah, which can be really good for those of you who do any kind of catering or anything with family or anything. So I've still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've still got 30 slots, which means I have 11 different. Well, I have enough for 15 times 2, which means I am very well to the good. So this is the Chernobyl, chocolate primatali. There are 2 seeds of this, and I'm going to plant them both in hopes of getting one or both to grow. Come on, second seed. Get out of the pouch. There we go. Yeah. So Johnny, a couple years ago, happened to send me 3 different varieties of hot peppers. A chocolate primatali, another primatali, and a peach ghost, I think it was. Well, I cannot find those seeds anywhere, and I think they're at my dad's house still from when I was living with him. So I've still got to find them, which for Johnny to send me more of them was awesome. That was the chocolate cream. Chocolate Primo times 2. What do we got next? We've got the Caramel Ghost. Caramel Ghost is another variety of ghost pepper that I found when I looked them up after I received all these seeds from Johnny. I don't know if its heat level is different, but it does grow to be a kind of a chocolatey, caramely color. So we've got that. I need to cut some more tags. Uh-oh. Water's getting on all these tags and making them disappear. Which means I probably should have done this ahead of time and I could have wrapped all my tags in box tape or scotch tape or something. And none of the wording would have faded. But good thing is, if anything, I can always go back and watch this live and know what was planted where. All right. So, what did I just plant? Caramel Ghost. Caramel Ghost. Times 2. Now I've got the Carolina Reaper. Which will be a good hit. This second seed will come out of the pouch. There we go. All right, there we go. Drop down in the hole. All righty. So those Carolina Reapers are planted. And for those of you who are sticking around, which probably isn't very many of you, we got 4 still watching, still in the chat. I appreciate you being here. Listen to me babble. So this is something I've been wanting to do for the last few months already, and I am getting a very late start. So I am trying. What do we got next? Next, we have the 7-pot Primo. Wow. So one pepper to rule them all. So this is 7-pot Primo. Another one of those that, like the chocolate Primatali, runs up there. The chocolate Primatali runs, from what I found and what Johnny has said, runs anywhere from like a 1.2 upwards of 2 million or over Scoville units. So the 7-pot Primo is, I think, just under that, under the chocolate. But what I found online is when you talk of a 7-pot pepper, that means one pepper is supposed to be able to provide heat, spice, and heat to 7 pots of chili. Think about that for a minute. 7 pots of chili. Usually a pot of chili is like a gallon. So you got 7 gallons of chili heated by one single pepper. That is kind of insane. But some of these peppers I may take and dry out and turn into powder for seasoning myself. And then others I will say I will dispose of them in ways of selling or giving away. To me, if they're too much for me, that's disposing of them. They're like getting rid of, but it'll be fun growing them. So this would be the fish pepper. Think if I remember right, I read that the fish pepper really has a mild heat, or maybe it's a sweet pepper. I can't really remember. I'd have to look that one up. Um, like I said, he sent me a few that are kind of iffy unless you know what you're getting into. I looked all these peppers up the other night, but that was, I think, Sunday night when I was at my dad's watching the horrible game between the Thunder and the Spurs. Game 7. Thunder did not show up. Shea, SGA, he showed up. Caruso showed up. I don't know where everybody else was. Freaking Holmgren, Chet Holmgren. Golly. 4 points through the whole game, and I think he had 2 rebounds. What the hell? That dude is normally a powerhouse. He drills threes. Why? Was he paid? What the hell? Is he going to be a Spurs player next year? What's going on? I don't know. Like you see him when they show a close up of him on the sideline, and he looked defeated. I don't know. I almost feel like, yeah, something's going on. Something ain't right for a guy that is normally a powerhouse, getting rebounds, shooting threes, blocking shots, doing everything, and this guy just half-assed it the whole damn game. And those 4 points came in the first half, not the second. I can't remember if he had any more points in the second half at all, but he had 4 points in the first half. That is very sad for Chet. So we got a few more peppers. Right now we got the Sugar Rough Stripey. He gave me three seeds of this. I'm only going to plant 2. I'll hang on to one of them, depending on how things possibly grow. I don't remember the info on the Sugar Rush Stripey. I don't think it is a hot pepper. I think it's more of a sweet pepper, kind of like a bell pepper, somewhere along those lines. Don't quote me on that because I could be wrong. So this is incredible that we're going to end up with most of this 72 seed pod. So this is the Peach Ghost Jamie, or Peach Ghost Jamie. What I found online is this is a variety of ghost pepper that is named after the person who made the change. I believe his name was Jamie, Jami. We got 4 seeds here. Still only going to plant 2. If I don't have any luck, I've got a couple extras I can plant in hopes of better luck at another time. What do we got left? We've got the ahi lemon drop, the Chernobyl jalapeno, and the, oh shit, did I already plant UFO purple? No. Okay, I know. Somewhere along the way, I am missing a packet of the UFO purple. But, so, because I don't know if he accidentally or just went ahead and did it, but he sent me 2 sleeves, 2 packets of UFO purple. One had 3 seeds, one had 2 seeds. So this was the packet that had 2. All right, so get them in there, and the water is starting to absorb up into these makeshift poster board tags, but I should still be able to read what they are. And like I said, if I'm not able to, I can come back into the live and watch it and figure out what I got planted where. All right, so this is the Chernobyl jalapeno. What I read is the Chernobyl jalapeno has a little bit of a lighter heat than a normal jalapeno, but they grow to be a lot larger than your standard jalapeno. So if they grow and grow well, that would be awesome because they would make for some really good stuffed jalapenos. All right, I got 2 more. Two more to do. 2 more to plant. I've got the ahi lemon drop. And I haven't planted them yet. Shit. What's going on here? Did I? No. Okay, I'm just gonna plant them over here to be safe because I'm yeah pretty sure that everything's good. That I only planted 2 of the UFO. Yeah, I did only plant 2 of the UFO purple. I don't know why the holes on them are covered up, so I'm gonna leave them alone. So we got that one dropped in the hole, and that one dropped in the hole. One more. I've got the devil's horn. I don't remember its heat level. Anything with devil's horn being in the name should be hot. There are 3 seeds. I'm going to plant 2. And once again, I'll hang on to the third for future possible necessity on growing. Maybe at some point, maybe at some point I can get some warthog pepper seeds and try the warthogs, see how they grow. I have multiple coworkers that keep saying that no pepper is ever hot enough for them. So I'd like to test them and hope that I can grow something that really makes them freaking sweat, makes their mouth burn. That would be awesome. So out of everything that I planted, I still have 3, 6, 8, and possibly 10 spots open. So that's over 60 tomato and pepper plants that I planted. That's a lot of freaking plants. And if they produce, that's a lot of production. That is a lot of vegetables to grow. I'm going to pick up here for a second and I will be right with you. I am pretty good here. Just getting the random things that I don't need anymore. Dump out that water. Got this bucket. I still got some soil in. And I'll go ahead and pick up all these seed packets. Get everything picked up. And then last step is, because I bought this whole starting kit 2 years ago, this thing has been sitting on the shelf for over 2 years, getting covered in freaking dust, covered in dirt. So I'm gonna run and go rinse it off real quick. I'll be right back. All right, so it's not perfect, but it's a hell of a lot cleaner and the sunlight can get through it. That was just me holding it under the faucet on the back wall of the house. And it probably ain't gonna snap on here. But all I got to do is put a little something over it to hold it. And then eventually, once these things take off, I mean, maybe all these other things that I tried to plant in, I can actually plant some stuff in too. Or maybe I can transfer a lot of these and some of these into them and open up some more space. I can plant some radishes, cucumbers, zucchini, stuff like that. I love fried zucchini, raw zucchini, cucumbers. Hell, make pickles. Um, Dom loves raw cucumber. I got a bug on my neck. I don't know what that is, but feel something fluttering behind me. All right, gloves are coming off. I think I won the night. The gloves are off. So, yep, I think I won the night. I'll be right back. I'm gonna step inside. I haven't had anything to drink in, wow, I've been live for 2 hours. I haven't had a single thing to drink in 2 hours. I'm gonna grab me a water and maybe a beer and relax for a little bit longer. What time is it? Oh, good Lord. What time is it? Oh, yeah, 9:47. Good Lord. Wow. I'm back. All right. So let's see if I can get this thing all turned around where I can. Oh, got my charger cord all tangled up. See. Oh, let's see. I'm going to scroll up through chat again. Let's see. Hey, Chris, what's going on, buddy? Chris is retired. He don't care. Chris is in northern Indiana. What's going on, buddy? Thanks for coming in. Good to see you in here, buddy. Let's see. Chris says I used to put them on them pea pods on an old cooking tray and water them from the ash. What the hell? What did I do? Nope. God damn it. Yep. Chris said he used to put them in, put his seeds in the peat pods, put them on a cooking tray, and water them from the bottom. Well, that's cool. Yeah, I have seen the whole peat pods. That's a pretty neat thing. I did read on them. God damn it. that peat pods are really good for peppers and tomatoes and stuff. I still got a lot of scrolling because um, StreamYard on a phone really seems to suck nowadays. Let's see. Thank you, Leanne. I feel like I did a pretty good job. Hopefully these seeds will take. Am I taking Dom to the He-Man movie? I don't know. I don't know if he's interested. I'm kind of put off by it because I grew up in the 80s on the original Masters of the Universe movie with Courtney Cox back when she was like really hot and young. Um, I mean, I loved that movie. God damn it. Sorry. Welcome. Thank you. Blah, 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 blah. So Chris and Leanne gonna get connected on their channels. That's pretty cool. God damn it. Come back there. Yeah, every time a comment comes up, I get this whole little thing where I got to click an arrow because I got to uncover the one little line area that I get to read in the chat. And my laptop would not connect to the internet once again, so that sucks. God damn it. Get off. Me too, my brothers. And I grew up with He-Man. Yep. All right. Scroll up more. Make a short video soon. Yeah, Chris, I'll make a oh, God dang it. Son of a bitch. I grew up with dinosaurs. Not the mama. Not the mama. With the baby. You grew up with the wrong kind of dinosaurs though. I grew up with dinosaurs, the TV show. You grew up with the real the real dinosaurs. Like the ones that are buried in the ground. I'm trying to catch up on chat and make sure everything. Peppers traditionally enjoy hot weather, so yeah, that'll be good. Maybe you can see chat. God dang it! Dooby doo, dooby doo. Son of a bitch! Like I said, every time somebody comments, it screws me up while I'm trying to catch up on chat from like half an hour ago. It's not your fault. There we go again, once again. All right, I'm going. I'm still going. He's busy. I get that. Yes. Kind of like his chat. God damn it! Hey, quit talking for a minute. You never liked cooked cabbage, Chris. Chris never liked cooked cabbage until he met his woman Alice. That's cool. Yeah, I like cooked cabbage. I don't like, as I talked to on the phone with Chris. I don't like sauerkraut, which is cabbage. Nan loves kebabs. Chris loves kebabs. Got dark here quick. Yes, it did, Jess. You know, Jess isn't here anymore. tomatoes, basil, and okay. All right, I'm finally caught up to where like, yep. Chris loved Alf. I fucking loved Alf. I grew up on Alf. Prehistoric. I'm 65 years old. Yep. Yep. Chris grew up on the real dinosaurs that have to be dug up because he grew up around the time that they were alive. What the? Why? What the hell? Okay. I don't know why the hell I just got a thing pop up. Oh, helicopter. It's not a helicopter. It's a helicopter. Helicopter just flew over. Yeah, I don't know why the hell some Gemini AI bullshit just popped up on my screen and was like, Gemini is your new assistant. I'm like, I don't want a fucking assistant. I'm here doing my thing and I'm good. Yes, Dinosaurs was funny as shit. I love that show. And I loved Alf. I loved Alvin and the Chipmunks. I freaking love Muppet Babies in the 80s. I fucking, yep. Damn, Leanne's freaking old. She'll be 51 in 2 months. Hey, I'll be 46 this month. How about that? What y'all got to say about that? I don't want to even be 45, and I don't want to top the hill of 45. You know how hard it is to find a single woman at 45? Now try telling a single woman that you're 46. It's going to be that much harder. I cannot find a good-looking single woman that is attracted to me to save my life. Now the problem is the only social life I have that I've had is going to concerts over these last several months. I have not been able to afford to just go to a bar and freaking sit there and drink on overpriced beer, but I can just freaking drink them at home. You know, and your son will be 45 in November. Hell yeah, Chris. Happy early birthday to your son. June 21st. Longest day of the year, first day of summer, best day of the year. Summer solstice. Solstice. The animal is still alive. What up, Lynn? I'm about to switch this camera. I'm done planting seeds. What do you think about that? Here, there we go. Lynn, out of everything we got like 70 or what was it? 60 or 62 seeds planted. And they are in a dome. Hopefully they will get covered. Or hopefully they will get hopefully they'll sprout. They are definitely covered. They're in a dome that let's see, that what do they call that? Shit. One of those I don't know, where the heat I don't know, kind of like a biodome thing. Not like the movie Biodome. That movie was dumb and funny as hell. It was dumb as hell and funny as hell. So let's see. We got 6 wonderful people in here now. There we go. All right, now you get to look at me and my ugly mug. A terrarium? I don't know. They called it shit. I forget. I was looking at it. It was like I don't know, kind of like a sweat house. I don't know. About time. Yep, about time. Lynn, I got a lot of shit planted, but if everything takes off, I'm not gonna know what the hell to do with all these freaking peppers and tomatoes. Thank you, Leanne. I still got pretty much 3 weeks. Lynn is married to his hand. Yeah. Lynn's always been married to his hand. Your camera just broke. Well, you shouldn't look at the son bitch. Wouldn't break if you don't look at it. Damn it. Try the frozen food section at the grocery store. For what? What am I looking for in the frozen food section? I forget what I'm looking for in the frozen food section. Chris, yes, I just finally saw your text. I can see the chat in my live. Sorry, I'm switching my phone around on the. I turned my phone 180 degrees, so the camera was on the other side of the chat. So when I scrolled through chat, it was not there. Women in the frozen food section, man, I don't need a cold-hearted bitch. I want to, you know, need to go by like the bakery where things are warm and you got warm-hearted women. Watching Blacktail Studio on YouTube makes epoxy tables. That's awesome. Lynn, I got a guy that I watched that does that fractal burning where he uses electricity and like salt water and he burns all the veins in wood. Um, You'll have to text me. I can send you his link to his channel, but he does some really cool stuff where, when you add the electricity to it and everything, what it does is it burns like all the weird patterns in the wood where all the different separations, different patterns in the wood are growing and everything. So it burns all of that and it's really neat. Lynn staying single. Lynn, I thought you were freaking married. I thought you married some chick when you were down in Texas or some shit. Or in Oklahoma. What the hell? You need to make up your mind. Last time I talked to you, you were married to some chick in Texas or southern Oklahoma. You already divorced again? How are the girls doing, by the way? Yeah, so this grill behind me, this charcoal grill, look at how shiny it is. There is very little rust inside, but yeah, I picked that up on the side of the road, leaving my dad's house, going through the neighborhood. It was a house that was being sold, and they had a number of things out at the curb for big trash day. And I saw it, I jumped out, I looked at it, and I was like, you know what? I need to start learning how to cook on charcoal. So I grabbed it, and I've got charcoal. I've got one of those chimneys to get the charcoal going, burning good. I just haven't used it yet. I have not had time. Weather's either weather's been too bad, wind been too high, or just I ain't had the time to mess with it. So maybe this weekend while I got Dom, if it's raining, I got this big old carport. I can pull my truck out and I can light that sumbitch up and get after it. I finally reseasoned, cleaned, and reseasoned my cast iron skillet. I have only ever cooked in a cast iron skillet the one time, and it worked out pretty good. My dad got it for me a year or so ago, and I finally cooked in it. Then it sat for a while before I decided to clean it, throw it on the oven, heat it, heat all the water out of it, and then throw some bacon grease in it and re-season it. And I did that twice. Got it good and seasoned with some bacon grease. It should be good to go. You got divorced. She was no good. No love in Oklahoma. Just like black stain, just long black stains. Long black stains. Well, if you wipe your ass after you went to the bathroom, you wouldn't have those black stains in your underwear that you left behind. Spray cooking oil to help stop the rust. Yeah, Chris, definitely. Yeah, cooking oil is always good too. Cooking oil is always good. It helps. Got canola and olive oil spray and everything else. But yeah, I actually I need to open that thing up, clean it up, and definitely, like you just said, I need to spray some oil in it, or rub some. I got a bottle of vegetable oil. I don't. I usually use olive oil when I cook, so I got vegetable oil that I can rub on the inside of it to keep that rust from going. If anything, I'll hit it with a wire wheel on my 4.5-inch grinder, clean that rust out, get it back down to fresh bare metal, and then I can throw oil on it and be good. Start a bonfire. Well, I do have a burn pile that needs to get burnt. Only problem is, I am considered in Oklahoma City limits, even though I have a Choctaw address. I am considered in Oklahoma City limits. So any fires that you burn minus what is considered a recreational fire, being what they consider a recreational fire is in a pit that is 3 foot by 3 foot square. Which means I have my burn barrel and I can burn in my burn barrel 24/7. As long as weather conditions are fine, the wind isn't too high, I can burn in that burn barrel 24/7 and they can't say a damn thing because it's considered recreational burning. If I'm actually burning my burn pile, it is supposed to be out by dark. Hey, Brian, what's going on, Mr. Vineyard Farmhouse? How you doing, sir? Good to see you. Thanks for popping in. But yes, if I burn anything outside of a fire pit, a kind of blocked in 3x3 area. Now it depends. One of the fire chief or the forget who it was. Either way, I had two different people from the fire department. One told me 5x5. One told me 3x3. But either way, where my burn pile is set up, it can be seen from the main road. So if it is burning in a big flame, I can be reported. But that all just depends on who drives by. If fire department, police, somebody drive by, I mean, county sheriffs drive by all the time. If I do a bonfire, I literally have to put in for a permit. And that I actually have to, according to Oklahoma City, if you want to have a bonfire, your fire has to be burning for 2 hours before the event is supposed to start. So that's weird because why would you do that? Because a bonfire is kind of the theme, the thing, the big part of being at a bonfire is seeing all those big flames going off the pile of wood that you're burning. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. But it seems like kind of any good possible area I could be burning, there is an avenue for somebody to see from the main road, which kind of sucks. But I mean, right now everything is green. There's nothing dead. I mean, shit, it's not like they're gonna bother me really. In all reality, um, I mean, my neighbor across the street, they get away with burning. They burn. They don't ever call for a permit. They don't ever do anything, and nobody ever shows up. So, I can light a fire. I can burn and be good. I mean, hell, I burnt leaves and pine needles. I have packed my burn barrel full of 55-gallon drum. I have packed that son of a bitch full, and it will smolder and smoke for 5 to 10 minutes before it ever catches fire. And I have had this whole surrounding area, and I'm burning probably 400 feet from the main road, and all the way at the main road, the whole main road, 100 yards south of me, 100 yards north of me, is just completely, the sky is covered in smoke, and that's crazy. But I mean, what are they going to say? I'm doing it legally. So, yeah, it feels weird, but I'm doing it legally. So, whatever. Let's see, scroll up a little bit and see what was said here. Yeah, Brian. Brian is awesome. Brian made the coolest, I don't know, trainer, narrow cornhole board set I've ever seen. That's actually the first narrow, and I think he said they call them trainer boards, but that's the first set I have ever seen like that. My ex girlfriend that I moved into this house, she won them at the get together at 10 Killer because out of like 50 to freaking 70 people, she's the only one person to make the beanbag in the hole. So there was no playoff. She won the set fair and square outright. So, yep. So when she left, moved out, she took the boards with her, even though she wouldn't have had the damn things if it wasn't for me taking her to that get together. But yeah, she took them, so I never got to play on them, and it sucks. Maybe I need to get Brian to build another set. I can start practicing. Maybe I can be one of those cornhole, one of those pros at playing cornhole. But Brian really did an awesome job with taping off the paint colors and everything else. I mean, he did an amazing job. Let's see. Chris said, same here. We are in city limits, but can have recreational fires in a pit. No bonfires though. Yep. They'll create a good live stream. You know, I'm gonna do some fire live streams. I will do fire live streams. I will start them up before long. I've got a burn pile. And another thing that Oklahoma City, their thing is, and like in Choctaw, I mean, shit, you light a fire, you keep burning until you're done. I mean, Oklahoma City, their whole big rule is if you have your pile ready to burn and you light it, you cannot add to it once it's lit. I'm like, dude, I got a lot of shit that's got to get burned. So when that pile burns down, I am throwing shit on top of it. I am burning everything until I don't care. If I start at 8, 9 o'clock in the morning and I got a lot of shit that's got to get burnt and it takes me until sundown, I don't care. I'm going to burn it. Screw you and your freaking don't add to the law or don't add to the pile bullshit. I'm not going to sit there and burn one pile and then have to wait until the next day to burn a whole nother pile. No, fuck all that. I'm going to burn it until I'm done burning. Screw all that crap. Polar Bear Chad, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you. Thanks for coming in, sir. We got 5 wonderful people in here. We've kept a crowd of 3 to 5 to 7, something like that. Not a big crowd, but you know what? That's cool. I'm not the Skipjack Cindy's and not all them other cool folks that do the vertical lives and get the hundreds of thousands of fans. I just do me, and whenever right now I'm just doing what is comfortable. I will try doing a vertical live before too long. So we'll see. We'll see how the vertical lives work out. I mean, seems like everybody and their dog, that's, anybody who ever started, you get a lot of people who couldn't get viewers or subscribers at all doing horizontal lives. And then all of a sudden, when vertical lives started, they started doing vertical lives. And all of a sudden, it's like, oh, ever since vertical lives went to the short platform on YouTube, that's when they went from a few hundred subscribers to 10,000 subscribers or more. It's just the cheap, easy way of doing it. And if StreamYard was worth a shit anymore, where a person streaming could actually read the chat without it being one line at a freaking time, it'd be a lot more worth it. Luckily, I'm not paying for StreamYard anymore. So I'm trying to get caught up here. Yeah, I never understood. We pay taxes, but got to abide by the rules. Yeah. God dang it. You're not Alvin Lewis. I saw something about lizard, and I know that's got to be Alvin Lewis. Yeah. Chris burns a lot of maple sticks. Wish he had son of a bitch. Brian said, trying to scroll up here. All right. Every time somebody comments, there we go with that problem. Yep. Cities don't. Yep. Let's see. God damn it. There we go again. I'm going to be able to scroll up and read all this shit eventually. All right, maybe if y'all stop talking for a minute, I can scroll up. Same here, we're city, blah, blah, blah. Okay, no, you never said, you're not breaking the law till you get caught, Chad said. Yep, that's right. Brian said, cities don't make sense. You're right. And bad thing is, like I said, Brian, I don't live in the city. I'm in the country, in between Oklahoma City and Choctaw. I'm kind of, damn it. I'm kind of like in limbo, but I'm not in county. I wish he hadn't bought that. Let's just forget it. What? Oh. Damn it. Damn it. Try to keep it. I only get to read one freaking line at a time, y'all. So I'm trying to catch up. Was out fishing and then went to be. God damn it. Buffalo Wild Wings. You went to Buffalo Wild Wings to watch Love Island? What? BW3s? What? To watch Love Island? Is that like some chick show? That's something like women watch? Love Island? It's kind of like reality shows like that, or what? Sorry, Chad, but you lost your man card. You watched Love Island. God damn it. Alvin Lewis. There we go. Let's see. I'm almost caught up. Do live at the truck stop with the lot lizards, Alan said. Alvin, I got 2 truck stops 3 minutes down the road from me. I can do that, but As far as I know, there are no lot lizards down there. Chad caught a nice orange koi. Well, that's cool. Johnny Pepper, Johnny Small Pepper's back. JSP still hanging with us, or came back to hang with us again. They had ladies. They had ladies' night because of love. It's all right, Chad. You still lost your man card for the night. Never paid for StreamYard, and I go live once a week. Yeah, Brian, I do not pay for StreamYard anymore either. Back when they announced that they were raising the prices up to like $45, $50 a month, I canceled it, and they said you can still use StreamYard as part on the free plan. So that's what I'm using right now. And I can definitely 100% say that I am not being charged for it, because the card that I used to have on file with them expired last year, and I never updated with the new card. So there's no way they can be charging me at all. Kind of like my Sirius XM in my truck. I love listening to the satellite radio, being able to go from channel to channel. It's a little bit easier than using Pandora on my phone. Um, and I could probably log Pandora in on my truck, but I've never messed with it. And the infotainment center with touchscreen on my truck is screwed up. It only works when it wants to work. So sometimes touchscreen does not work. And then other times it has a mind of its own and it does whatever the hell it wants to do. As long as I bring up the navigation, it will only make the navigation scroll and go all kinds of crazy, because there's no buttons, no nothing on the screen for it to bring up and click on its own. So uh yeah, I don't need to use navigation. I don't need to use navigation out of state. I will pull up Google Maps. I'll do a real quick search, look, and figure out the exact points that I need to make a turn, and then that's it. And then when I need to, I don't follow the map. I look at the directions, these streets. I get the street names. At glance, I get them. I know exactly where I need to turn, where I need to go, and that's it. I don't, not one of those. It's, oh, you got the stupid fucking voice sitting there saying, turn right in 300 yards, whatever, bullshit. Screw all that. I don't do that. I've been driving across country. I'm turning 46 this month, which basically I have been driving across this country by myself for 28 years. I drove to Florida, I think, for the first time by myself in 2018, or 2018 when I was 18. I have been all the way up to North Dakota, Minnesota. I've been all the way out to Allentown, PA, all the way down to Florida, many, many times, Alabama. I've been all over the whole eastern part of the country, Virginia Beach. I've been all the way to South Texas, all the way out to far South California, about 20 to 30 minutes from San Diego. I've been out there, Yuma, Arizona, Calexico, El Centro, California, right there where you're driving down a road and the border is right there. You're looking across the wall, the fence at Mexico. I actually had to go into Mexico one time, which was the closest I've ever been to San Diego. Um, I was on I-8 West, I think it is, that goes into goes across far South California. Um, and I was like 20 to 30 miles from San Diego, and then I had to head straight south into Tecate, Mexico, on down to Las Palmas, Mexico. And that's where we had a laydown yard for our pipeline equipment and stuff. That's where we had a yard. and that's where I had to go down, drive in there, pick up some stuff, and drive back into the States the very same day. So, yep, I've been to Mexico, but I didn't get to see or enjoy anything. It was down one road and back up. Went across a turnpike that was very crazy because you go across that turnpike and they have scarecrow dummies wearing military fatigues. I don't know why my phone just dimmed, but they oh, there we go. Um, no, I don't want to post a comment. I want to get out of that. There we go. They have like scarecrows wearing military gear, holding machine guns in the center median, basically telling you that you're coming up uh, to a military checkpoint. That's freaking crazy. And then when you get to a toll booth on this road, luckily I mean, they don't really speak English, but luckily you tell them you have American money. You hold up money and be like American, and they look at a little paper on their window and they give you the corresponding number and they tell you how much it is American. You hand it to them, they give you your change, and on you go. Now, the big problem was I went that way because I was told rather than going back in where I came, going back into the United States where I went out, I would have an easier time of driving down to Mexicali, which is further east. I would have a lot easier time getting in at that border crossing, which I think did not prove to be the case because I got up there and I was pulling a trailer with two Polaris 6x6 Rangers. They looked and they're like, "What are you doing here?" And I followed what my boss told me to do. And so before I went over there, we pulled all the company stickers off the truck, and he said, "Yep, just tell them you were down there with some friends, riding, having some fun. You were coming back." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So that's what I told them, and they're like, "Yep." They said, "All right, go ahead and pull up here for secondary check." So I pull up into the area, waiting for a secondary check, and I waited for like an hour, hour and a half, or longer. Nobody ever came, and then all of a sudden, some dude comes by. He's like, "Have you been checked?" I said, "No." They told me to pull over here, and they were going to check me. And he was like, "All right, well, just wait. We'll bring somebody over with a dog, and you know, you can be on your way." So finally, about 20 to 30 minutes later, they finally came back, and yeah, they got their mirrors on the sticks. They looked underneath the truck, the trailer. They had their dogs walk around, sniff around, and they're like, "All right, cool, you're good to go." So yeah, that really sucked. It was not very much fun, but yeah, I've been all over this whole damn country driving. So yeah, I totally forget why I was even telling that story. But hey, you guys got a good story out of it. And nobody has sent a chat in a while. Brian said never paid for StreamYard, go live once a week. Chris said I hung out with two lesbians at a birthday party at a piano bar. We drank Jaeger bombs. It was so much fun. Chris, Jaeger bombs are awesome. Vegas bombs are even a little bit better because they don't have that Jaeger in them, and they're not bitter. Um, Hanging out with a couple lesbians, that can be fun. Not so much because you think you're going to end up with two women at the end of the night, but just because they're freaking cool chicks. They're awesome for the most part. I've hung out with numerous lesbians and gay people, and the lesbians are always fun. Gay people are, gay guys. They can be fun too. They can definitely help you out when it comes to hooking you up with a chick because They always have hot female friends. I don't care what party you stand with. It don't matter. Gay and lesbians, they can be cool freaking people to have on your side. Especially when you're out at the bar and you need a wingman or woman. And you know, you're single, they can always help you out, get you a phone number or something eventually. Introduce you to somebody. One was black and one was white. Nothing wrong with a black woman either. There are a lot of beautiful black women out there, Asian, Hispanics. Don't give a damn. I just haven't actually met a black woman in years that, I see plenty of black women that are attractive, but seems like all the attractive ones are already in a relationship or married, and they don't want a guy like me. I really would not mind at all being with a Hispanic woman though. The Hispanic families and culture is so freaking just family oriented and so awesome. Great people. Worked on the pipeline, worked in construction for years, and so many of the Hispanic people, Mexicans mostly, I mean, they're just freaking awesome, caring, giving. It's great people to even just to know. I don't care if they're legal, illegal, whatever. They could be illegal. I never asked. That's not a question I ever cared about. Um, just the best people in the world because they're family oriented and they just want you to be part of the family. No way, I actually made it. Who is this? I can't see. Clayton, certified fishing nut. What up, Clayton? What up, buddy? I got a phone too. You can text me from time to time. All you gotta do is text me, buddy. I've been busy working overtime and taking care of Dom, and Dad's been in the hospital and all kinds of shit. So, oh man, I brought a water out and I brought a beer out, and I haven't opened either one of them. So, let's have a drink of water. Yes, we need to go fishing, bro. And I think what we need to try to do, we need to try to get the boys together. One or two of your younger kids, and I'll bring Dom. And we need to have a father son group fishing weekend because I know Dom wants to go fishing, he wants to go camping, he wants to go on trips. And I haven't done that, and the only trips I've done have been going out with you. And yeah, we need to do a father son trip with the kids sometime. That way, he doesn't feel like I'm just taking these trips doing things without him because I don't want him to be there or want him to go. I mean, some of it is yes, I want to get out and have a weekend trip with my friends and do things and enjoy my time with just me and my buddy that I'm going to meet up with or buddies. But at the same time, yeah, the kids, you spent so much time doing your night live streams and stuff and all your live streams with the kids, and that works really easy when you have your kids 24/7. Um, but then when you don't, when you got them every other weekend and just at random times like I got Dom. Sometimes it's like, oh man, my only time to be able to get out with the guys or with my friend is this time. Like I need to do it, but yeah, we need to plan a trip, get the boys out and do a trip. Because Dom's been wanting to go fishing, I've been wanting to go fishing, and so yeah, we need to do that sometime. And I'm not saying it has to be next time that we get together. We can do a weekend trip, just you and me again sometime on a weekend that I don't have Dom. But yeah, we definitely need to. He's kind of like me. He needs friends like me too. So a good laugh, cold beer, and God dang it, a good laugh, a cold beer, a fishing trip will cure most things. All right. So Chris said, "How's my dad?" Chris asked, "How's my dad doing?" And Clayton wants to see my plants. All right, Clayton. So no plants. This is all starting from seed, but right now this is what I got right now. There are 72 pods in that, and currently I think I got 60 to 62 seeds started or stuck in there. Um, Now I'll can them. I'll count them. Can them. I'll can them. So I got 2, 4, 6, 7. What the hell? What did I do? Skip something? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. 23 different varieties of peppers and tomatoes. 23 varieties, anywhere from, actually, I don't even, there's not a single basic red tomato plant in there. There's some crazy, you're out of the norm tomatoes, and I really hope they take off because, they're cool. Um, and then all the peppers, Johnny sent me JSP, Johnny Small Peppers sent me 13 packets, which was 12 different varieties of peppers, all the way from a sweet and mild all the way up to super hot. And I have peppers from Ernie Brown and some tomatoes from him. And I got a lot of tomatoes and a pepper plant from working with Wiley and our mountain home, Jen and Wiley. And then I've got habanero seeds from a habanero plant I took from my best friend and his wife. And then habanero seeds from a pepper that Dan 205 Wild Action sent me. And I really wish I gave the 7-pot douglas to my brother. And I really wish I had told him to keep some of the seeds for me, but I didn't. So right now I'm gonna try and I'm gonna see what grows. Chris, so to answer Chris's question, I have not made a post yet. I need to. Let's see. Back to I'll finish Clayton's comment. Pretty cool, bro. I'll send you some videos of my garden here soon. That's awesome, Clayton. Yeah, show me your garden, man. I really had plans of growing a big garden this year, and it didn't work out. It didn't happen. But I'm gonna try to get things going and maybe plant a lot of. There's a lot of things that grow in the fall: spinach, carrots, onions, lettuce, cabbage, radishes. There's a lot of things that grow in that are good for growing as a fall, early winter crop, and hopefully I can get my garden ready for that. And then that way that's ready, and then when that gets out, springtime comes up, and I'm good to go to be able to plant a spring garden. Um, I got my spare bedroom, and I'm gonna try to get things set up where I got some grow lights and stuff, and I can start setting up uh, seed starts, and I can grow starts in the spare bedroom, and have everything ready. That way, I can transplant when the time comes, and have my garden ready to go. Yeah, it is. It's definitely therapeutic. Um, it's it's rewarding. It's to know that you planted that and you grew it and you tended to it, and you're eating those fruits and vegetables that you grew, and you didn't pay jack shit for it. You didn't go to the grocery store. You planted, you grew it yourself. Whether you grew it from a seed or you grew it from a plant start, you grew it yourself. You took the time to tend to it and everything else. So let's see. You want to start seeding your fishing spots? Get some tomatoes next time we pull up. That'd be funny. Have some freaking and definitely. I mean, dude, I worked a construction job where I was going to dump concrete or dirt or something, and where I was having to go dump, there were like wild tomato plants growing, and I don't think they were wild. I think it had to do with the fact that somebody had thrown out some tomatoes or something, and the seeds took. But yeah, and I want to grow up. I want to start some asparagus too, but they say that growing asparagus, you got to wait like 2 or 3 years before you can actually harvest it. Um, and if you plant asparagus, it's going to spread out and grow and grow and grow, kind of like bamboo does. If you don't quarantine it, it's going to grow everywhere. So, kind of my thought is to grow it in like some big planters or something and keep it contained in one area. But the let's see, the bugs will demolish it. Nah, I don't think the bugs will demolish them. Um, so yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and answer Chris's question, asking how my dad is. Um, I do still need to make a post to kind of update and inform everybody. I had a lot of people reach or not reach out, but a lot of people leave well wishes, prayers, comments for my dad, and I really, really, really appreciate everybody for doing that. It was totally awesome. Um, and JSP Johnny, um, he shared my post out. Kind of sucked. Nobody else did, but at the same time, I understand everybody's got their lives and stuff, so can always don't always have the time to do that stuff. But he made it a point to try to spread it out and get the word out and give me some extra prayers or get us some extra prayers. Anyways, so I think it was Thursday they did a biopsy on the bone in my dad's foot or of the infection area. I don't know what they did. I think it was of the bone. Um, but basically that's a surgery in itself. Um, and the thing was it was Wednesday or Thursday. They said they had to wait for the people over at infectious diseases to determine what it was, whether it was a bone infection or not. So um, Saturday morning, they had told my dad they had determined that it was not a bone infection, but yet they could not specify what it was. They had no answer on what it was. So either way, they were okay with it. Dad said he had like 8 IV bags of antibiotics while he was in the hospital. His foot went from being swollen to like 2 to 2.5 times its normal size, back down to being about 1.5 times its normal size by the time he came home. But he did. I came home from work Saturday. I was working overtime both Saturday and Sunday. Had to be up at 3:30 to 4 o'clock in the morning. Be at work at 4:30 both mornings until 12:30. Saturday, I got home. I ended up passing out on the couch. Woke up to a text from him telling me he was home, and yeah, he didn't update me. He didn't give me the update and tell me one way or another whether he was coming home or anything else. But yeah, so he got a hold of my brother. He was talking to my brother, and my brother lives fairly close to where the hospital he was in. And so my brother picked him up, took him home, and everything was good. I remember I did not go by there Saturday. I went by there Sunday. Um, yeah, I ended up passing back out of there. Or shit, I can't remember. Maybe I did go over there Saturday. I don't remember, but yeah. But He's doing good. He's getting around. He's got him a little boot he's got to wear. The pain and stuff he's dealing with right now, I think, is mostly from the surgery of the biopsy. I'm pretty sure they sent him home with some pretty strong antibiotics, and we'll see how everything goes from there. Hopefully, this infection, whatever it is, it goes away. Um, Definitely don't want him to lose his foot. Definitely, more than anything, don't want him to die. I mean, I don't know where I'd be if my dad died. I already lost my mom 5.5 years ago. Dominic lost his grandma, or Gaga as he called her. Um, so if he lost his papa and I lost my dad, I mean, I don't know. I don't know where I'd be. Um, I would have to make it through. I'd have to pull and push through. I'd have to push through just like I did when mom died and my grandma 2 weeks apart. But I'd have to push through for Dominic because he needs me. I am everything to him, and he is everything to me. So I can't do any kind of dumb shit. But Dad's only 71. He's still young. He's still young. He's still young, pushing through. Doing really good. Still got the strength of an ox, and so he's he's gonna live a lot longer. He's gonna do good, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna make it. Dom is about to start fourth grade. He just finished third grade. So come next school year, he's going to be in the fourth. And, I think Dad's got it in him to see Dom graduate and become a man. And I really hope that's true. I hope one day that I can find a woman to marry and my dad can actually see me happy. Aside from being happy having my son, and see me happy with having that part of my life complete. Finally finding a woman that cares as much as I'll care for her. I ain't had a date in a year and a half, so shit, I don't know that it's gonna happen. Who knows? Maybe. Maybe one day. We'll see. I'll be 46 this month. It's pretty sad that 46, got a kid, never been married. Oh well, just living life, working my ass off, single father, doing what I can to keep the house that we both love, the property. Cheers, Chris. Uh, all right. Yeah, Clayton, man, I appreciate it. I always got you in my thoughts too, man. You're a brother to me. I appreciate you. You're not on the social media as much. Hey, this is the only social media I'm part of. Good. Keep up. Keep going. You want to see? Man, I appreciate it, Clayton. Man, I want you to succeed just as much. I know you got a big family, and you got kids and a wife that depend on you, and I want you to be able to get to where you ain't struggling. I want you to have that happy, easy life. Yeah, Chris, we're gonna get back out there and we're gonna get back out fishing together once he's back on his foot smoothly. He got his he had his shoulder replaced back around Christmas, New Year's. He had that reverse shoulder surgery where your shoulder, normally the ball, I mean the cuff is up here, coming off your shoulder blade. Your yeah, off of this whole thing, and the ball is on the bone on your arm. Well, when that cuff gets worn out so bad, there's nothing they can do. So the best way they can replace it and do it is they cut it all off, both ends. They put the ball on your shoulder blade, on your scapula, I think it is. They put the ball up here and they put the cup, yeah, the rotator cuff. They put the cuff down here on your arm bone. So he had that done and he went through physical therapy and I think he's still going through it. But he told me, a couple weeks ago that a couple weeks before that he had gone skeet shooting out at the range out in McLeod with some other retirees, and he said that felt the best. He said that was. He said he felt like he did the best skeet shooting he's ever done ever since he had that surgery done, and I think that was the first time he'd gone shooting since he had it done. Um, so that's just awesome to hear. But he did send his motorcycle off to go get turned into a trike. Not his ideal thing. He loves the two-wheel motorcycle. He wants to be a two-wheel bike rider, but having had a knee replacement and a shoulder replacement and being 71 years old currently, he doesn't trust himself. So he sent his bike off to go get it turned into a trike. And that's going to keep him riding in the open air on a bike for years to come until he's done. And that's all that matters. The fact he's able to get out there in the open air on some wheels, enjoying that open air. And that's all that matters to me is that he's able to do that. So his bike should be done here before too long. Eric B, what's going on, buddy? Almost a little bit of a shock to see you in here, but man, I really appreciate you coming in. Long time no see. But no pain, just pops and clicks. Let's see. Chris said, God dang it. Get off here. Yours is toast from pitching baseball to your son. Yeah, Chris, man, I was a pitcher in junior high and high school, but man, I was never a premier or top pitcher. I mean, I had an arm, but man, every time I pitched, I hurt my arm. Something always ended up hurting. It was never enough to go to the doctor or anything else, but I mean, maybe I probably should have, but uh, being called dad isn't so easy some days. Yeah, Clayton, I hear you, but man, it's always worth it being called dad. It's always worth it, especially in my position where I don't have Dom every day and my time with him is limited. So yes, every time he calls me dad and he wants to give me a hug, he wants to tell me he loves me, I embrace every bit of it and I give it right back to him. And in whatever it is with him, he'll tell me 25 times in one day that he loves me, and I'll tell him right back. And, I don't care how many times. Sometimes it seems a little weird because, he'll tell me he loves me, and 2 minutes later, he'll tell me he loves me again. But you know what? I don't care how many times he tells me. I'm always going to be there and listen, and I'm going to say it right back to him. 'Cause that's my boy. You loved it when Dom talked to you on the phone with me before. Yeah, Chris, that's cool that, he came in. I was still laying in bed, and, you had called and we were sitting there bullshitting, and Dom come in to say good morning and everything. He come in. Yep. I miss those days when I first started YouTube, and I just started YouTube just over 5 years ago. And he was there with me in the early lives, getting on people's panels and doing my own live streams and stuff when back when he was just, 4 years old. So little, and just, he was just cute as could be, talking to everybody. He still is, even at 9 years old, but it's not the same when they get older, especially when they become freaking little turds. But he's my turd. I love him to death. We need to Yep, Eric says, yep, we need to connect with love more than ever. Yes, sir, Eric, we do. We need to keep love in our hearts right now, because right now the problem is we got so much freaking hate going on around this world. And it has divided this, not just, it's divided this country to a point that, they keep talking about it, but it's damn near, I feel, if this shit don't stop, it's going to turn into a damn civil war, and we don't need another one. We need people to start acting right. We need people to quit hating and start realizing that, we're all people trying to make it on this earth. If their hate kills one person, that doesn't advance them. That doesn't make them better. That doesn't help their anything. That doesn't help anything in their life. Doesn't make anything any better. I try to stay out of the political talk. I hate what is going on right now. And I don't want to get into my political beliefs, because I can guarantee you there are a lot of people in YouTube, a lot of people that are subscribed to, that I'm subscribed to, that think 100% opposite of what I do. And that's fine. But at least I can go to bed at night understanding I did what I could try to help my fellow man or anybody else without being hateful about it, having hatred. I hate things. Yes, I do. I hate people. I hate some people. I hate things. I hate some of the things people do. But for the most part, I try to be kind of an equal opportunist. And I saw a video earlier today, and and we got Eric in here now. Eric's the only black man in the chat. But this was a video where an older white man in his 70s came up to this black guy and told him that because his grass, the people around them in the neighborhood were thinking bad about him and thinking he was setting a bad example because he was a black man and his grass was growing too long. And that was setting up the stereotypes. And you know what? In this video, this old man sitting there he just kept digging himself a deeper hole, trying to bring out and say that, if you go to the inner city where the black community is, the black community looks like shit because they don't take care of themselves. They don't take care of their yards or anything else, which, I mean, there might be a little bit of truth to some of that if you get to these very impoverished areas of the inner cities. But like I said in my comment, there are two black families that live directly across the street from me. They're sisters. They're from Ghana, which is in Africa, and they have nice big houses on 5 acre lots, and they take care of their yards. They cut their grass. They plant their flowers. They've got gardens. They do everything. So don't even try to make keeping up with your yard a racial issue. I mean, it's pathetic what people are doing these days. They're being so petty and horrible to each other. Just, just if people need help, help them. It don't matter what color they are or what anything. So it's sad to see the hatred that's being brought out in this country, in this world these days. And Clayton says it's always easier to make a wrong decision. Yeah, it is. Sometimes, though, when you make the right decision, even if it's the tougher decision, you always feel better in the end. It's always the better outcome. The difference, Clayton says, difference between politicians and catfish is one. Damn it, come back here. One is a slimy bottom feeder, and the other is a fish. That's hilarious, Clayton. I don't know if I've heard that one. If you don't want to work, if you don't want to do the work, just pay someone to do it for you. Yep. House, yard, etc. Yep. But for somebody to make it a racial issue as far as the fact of, and like the man in the video that was recording, he said, he said, I live here with my sons, my kids. And he said, you're not even taking into account the lifestyles of people that, they may not have time. And in my comment, I directly said, I said, you know what? I said, I'm a white guy. I said, and sometimes people can drive by my house and think, damn, this guy needs to mow his yard. It's kind of looking a little crappy. That's not because I'm white trash. It's because I work. I'm a single father. I work a lot. Sometimes I come home, I get busy. My zero turn that I have is, I haven't repaired it yet. So I have to borrow my dad's, which means I have to go to his house, hook up to his trailer, borrow his mower, bring it home. And I try to keep up with it, but sometimes it might be 1.5, 2 weeks. And I normally try to mow once a week when the grass is growing. But it may come down to where 1.5 or 2 weeks goes before I can cut it. And yeah, it's getting pretty long, but you know what? It's getting done. I'm not having the city. I'm not having anybody calling on me. I do it when I can. I work, and I don't live in some stupid ass HOA neighborhood where I got people sitting there hovering over me, tell me, "Oh, you're going to get a fine if you don't do this, or you don't do this, or you do this, and whatever." Screw all that. I live on a 5 acre lot, and I freaking love it. I don't have to deal with HOA or anybody else. But that was just kind of an example of the racial hatred that's going on right now, and there's so much more to everything than just racial divide. I mean, it's everything. It's economic. It's governmental, political divide. There's just divide amongst everybody, and it would be nice if we could all just find a way to go back to where I miss the days. Like I said, I'll be 46 this month, And I still remember the days where the commercials, the when the politicians were running against each other, they didn't they didn't say the stuff that's being said these days. Like now they're making shit up. And I saw a video, I saw a news story last week, I think it was, where they explained where all these financial uh, contributions are coming from for all these campaigns. And there's the, your CPAC or your, yeah, I think CPAC or PAC or whatever, and then the other one, and then there's what they call dark money. Well, all the others have to account for everything, but the dark money entities that are coming um, from nonprofit, they call them nonprofit groups, but yet they don't have to account. They don't have to include who their donors are, and there are no regulations on what they say. So they are able to make these commercials and slam their opponent in any which way they want. It didn't used to be this way. There used to be the disagreement, but now there's just shit that's being made up. And it's horrible. And there's so many people from each side that are believing this and that. I'll be honest, the people who believe the worst of it, I'm just going to say outright, they're from one side and not the other. And it's just okay. I'm going to move on from any of this political crap. Yeah. Clayton, your kids need to get out there and go mow. Clayton just lets his yard grow, and you try to mow it sometimes. If grass is too tall here, the city will give you a citation. Your kids are almost the mowing age. Chris likes tall grass. It chokes out the weeds. Yeah, the problem is you got to make sure you got grass and not weeds growing. They gave you a $300 ticket, and you went and sat it out in jail. What? You sat in jail over a freaking ticket because of your grass? Clayton, you seriously got put in jail over a ticket over your grass? Or what? Jesus. That's insane. The overreach on all this crap is horrible. They won't get a dollar from you? Hell no. That's good. All right, guys. We got 5 minutes till I cut this off. We've been going for 3 hours and 25 minutes. It is now 11:09. I got to get my butt in the shower, and I got to go to work tomorrow. I got to be there at 7 in the morning. I feel good now that I got a lot of seeds planted, and hopefully these things are going to take off. And when I start seeing things sprout up, that's when I'm gonna do another live to show off my sprouts, show off what we got. You guys are all part of it, just from being here, watching, and joining in while I did it. Jail's not so bad. You worked a lot. You worked out a lot for those 3 days. You get that hat at the concert. Um, you turned yourself in. That's freaking hilarious. Clayton, yeah, this is Blackstone Cherry. I actually bought this hat when Blackstone Cherry played with the Kentucky Headhunters at the fair at a free concert last year at the Oklahoma State Fair. Um, last live I did, I think, or yeah, last live. I was wearing my 0936 hat that I got at the concert that was actually given to me by 0936. I waited in a long line to meet 0936 and Elijah. And when I got up there and I felt weird. I was like, dude, I said, man, I don't have any money, and you know, I'm broke. I don't have the money to buy any kind of merch. I said, I just wanted to stand in line. I just want to come up here and meet you and tell you did a freaking awesome job. You know, you were freaking awesome on stage. And he just reached down to the table, grabbed the hat, and handed it to me. I was like, well, hell yeah, dude. I was like, that's freaking awesome. You know, I've never had anybody from another band or from a band do anything like that. That was just freaking awesome. Um, as for the concerts I've been to lately, I've barely had the money to go to the concerts, but I have made it. I just haven't had any money for the merch, which sucks because I went to man, I went to the uh what was it Apocalyptic Apocalyptica and Jesus, who was the headliner? It was just this past freaking week, and I made a post. Oh, the Who. Duh, I'm dumb. The Who, the Mongolian metal band, the Who. Couldn't believe it. There was 8 freaking people in that band. There was an 8-piece band. But dude, it was freaking cool. And then Apocalyptica, they apparently got their fame from yes sir, the Who, the HU. Apocalyptica got their fame because they are all classically trained in musicians. They they learned to play stuff like the cello and all those big stringed instruments, and that's what the band is. They are 3. Uh, they play the cello and whatever instruments, whatever they play. Um, and then they have a drummer, but I think they got their fame from playing Metallica music, and that's actually what they played at the concert the other night was all Metallica music. They played a full Metallica set, and I recorded a bunch of it. I'm gonna post some shorts of that and the Who, and I'm gonna try to start catching up on posting shorts from all these other concerts I've been to also. Um, but man, it was freaking cool. And I went into the bar. I was like, oh, dude, the Rasmus, they opened up for the Rasmus opened up for um, Apocalyptica. And great, what's cool is so the Diamond Ballroom is right there off the main road. Big old place. Back when I was in high school, they actually had like country dance night. It was like a country dance club on Friday and Saturday nights. I never did go there, but now it's basically just a concert venue. Standing room only. They do have tables all the way at the. It's long and it's not narrow, but it's real long, deep. So the further back you go, back by the back bar, they have tables you can pay for. Um, you can have those tables. But I mean, when I go to a concert, I want to be standing room. I want to be part of. I'll be right back. I'm right here. That damn bug crawling around on the concrete that I think might have been a roach, but I'm not sure. Anyway, so I want to go to standing room concerts. I don't want to sit in a chair. I don't want to go to an arena and sit in a seat. I want to be in the pit. I want to be on the floor. So that's one reason why I love the Diamond so much, because it is standing room only. Um, but no, it was an awesome time. The Rasmus, but anyways, so you got the Diamond that runs kind of lengthways with the north south street that they're off of, and then right up by the road is a little bar called Little Dick's halfway in, little bitty shithole dive bar. Um, and so I think it was the same owners. They opened Little Dick's, and then they had Little Dick's halfway in, and then they had Big Dick's, which was off in Yukon, uh, west of Oklahoma City. Big Dick's is closed down, I do believe, but Little Dick's is still there. But like I said, a little shithole dive bar, cool to go in, hang out. But I went in there. I was like, yeah, Rasmus said they were going to be hanging out in there. So I went in there thinking they'd be in there, and well, they weren't. But Apocalyptica's drummer was in there. So I went in there and I started talking to him, and ended up getting his autograph on my ticket, and I got a couple pictures with him. He's a really cool guy. Uh, Real, appreciative of his fans and everything else. So it was awesome getting to meet him and hang out. And I didn't stay very long because I did have to get up and go to work the next day. But it was a cool time. Um, I'm on a bit of a concert break for now. I could have gone to Buck Cherry on Sunday night, but I've seen Buck Cherry 2 or 3 times. They're not one of my favorite bands, so missing them was not a big deal. I love you too, Eric. Thanks for coming in, man. I appreciate it. I got to be up at 5:30 myself. It is 11:17, and I do have to get up. I do have to get a shower and get to bed here before long. I haven't even eaten dinner, but I did make some eggs with some peppers and onions and sausage at like 6 o'clock, something like that. So I'm all right for right now. Um, I may eat the leftover pork chop I grilled last night, but yeah. So kind of, there's not really any good concerts coming up until August, in which my dad gave me the money to buy my pit ticket for Motionless in White and Lorna Shore, which is going to be just insane. It's going to be a badass concert. Being up front in the pit, being able to get right there. Now, I don't plan on being in the mosh pit so much, but in the whole pit area, being able to get right there up front by the stage, it's going to be freaking insanity. Lorna Shore, they're considered death metal, I believe. Now, I can't understand the words, but their lead singer, Will Ramos, has a vocal range that you guys would, I mean, it's insane. Um, he actually has his own channel. It's his own YouTube channel. It's called, I think, The Will Ramos. Um, and I mean, he's a freaking cool dude. He has his own drift car. He likes to do drift drift events, drift racing and stuff. Um, it's crazy because one of their songs, and like I said, I can't understand a single word of it, but you watch the video and you listen to it, and yes, there's a lot of deep screaming, roaring, everything. But if you watch the video all the way through, it actually goes in and tells a story about how that song had to do with the fact that he was estranged from his dad for like over 20 some odd years. And then what's crazy was when they finally reconnected, they only lived like 3 miles from each other and still hadn't seen each other in like over 20 some odd years. And his dad was actually in the video. So at the end of the video, it was him and his dad talking, almost kind of like a biography kind of thing, just a kind of like a documentary kind of catch up thing. And it was really heartfelt. And even though, like I said, I couldn't understand any of the words, just listening to him and then seeing at the end of the video and seeing and listening to him talk about what's going on, it's crazy. But yep. So Chris is heading out. Eric left. I've already gone 6 minutes longer than I said I was going to. So it is 11:20. I'm going to call it a night. I appreciate everybody. I've been going for 3 hours 36 minutes. Appreciate everybody being here, hanging out. Everybody that's been here to watch me plant the seeds of all these peppers and tomatoes. And I look forward to doing another live and chatting with everybody again here soon. So love y'all. Have a great night, and I will talk to you here soon. Bye.